Hello everyone, I am your friendly neighborhood techno wizard. Today's show is episode 18. Martha's found in the gym with a pipe wrench, and Colonel Mustard was seen in the laboratory with the candlestick. No, this episode is going to be about the Combat Cyborg OCC. So, get the boilerplate like one. I'm now on Patreon. Look for Techno Wizard on Patreon. If you want to subscribe to my channel or you want to help me out, maybe I can make a little bit better content with a little bit more money. What can I say? But check me out on Rumble and Minds, Gab, Getter. Go to those free speech platforms. Deny the technological oligarchs. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, basically there I'm moving there because it's more free speech. That being said, like I said, today's episode is about cyborgs. Now, in Riffs, there is a very classic image of what it means to be a Borg or a combat Borg. You are a fully encased life form. Now, I'll get into what the book says, but you got to understand this. Everything's been replaced. And this scene, I think, has it the best. It's from RoboCop 2014 edition. This encapsulates what it means, and as I've said before, what in Rifts you give up to be powerful or save people or get more money, or what is your character willing to do to survive? This your character has chosen. Maybe not. But anyway, here it goes. This does a really good job of encapsulating what is left of you if you choose to be a full combat.
No. Holy Christ. Holy Christ. Holy Christ, there's nothing left.
Lemony. All right, so that's it. You literally are torn down. Your body, your brain is basically the only thing that's really you left. Yes, dog, go. I love a dog. It's like a 3-year-old kid that never gets past that needy phase. Anyway, that's all that's left of you. So in this body you're seeing right there, holding a big gun, big muscular, big, hydraulics. And that's what all it is. It's all hydraulics. It's all this sort of mechanical menagerie that encapsulates what you used to be. You literally give up your humanity. You give up everything but like a chunk of your lungs and some blood in your brain. But here's the thing. You do become supremely powerful. You also become repairable, and not where you have to go convalesce to get better. You literally just can go into a body shop and be worked on. So, how do I phrase this? Here we go. This is a Cyborg OCC in Riffs. It is Cyborg blah blah blah, man, machine power, mighty full. Now we're talking full conversion Borg here, and of course the thing wants to tell me to exit. All right, combat Borg. Now, we're talking about specifically combat Borg. There are other kinds of Borgs, and there are even slave Borgs, and they have a different little OCC minor variations. But you basically get a full conversion Borg body. You are a massive powerhouse. Now, we go through all this, you also got to remember when you're rolling stats for this, your strength, your physical prowess, and your speed no longer really matter. They're replaced with magnetic bearings and hydraulics. That's it. 90% of your body is gone. There's no way of getting it back. So, now we go down, and this is covering the basic size and shape of a human body. Basically, you kind of you're usually, sometimes you're like 8-9 feet tall, but you're still basically humanoid in shape. You get a specific amount of NBC. There's a maximum, there's a minimum. That's what you start off with. And building your cyborg or your full conversion Borg here. How do I phrase this? You kind of have to pick a path. You have to pick what you want to be. Now, I showed you the big red type before, right? I showed you the big red type. The big red type there. Yeah. Big red type That's kind of the standard. However, there are other models of Borg. And here's the thing. In the description of statics, this is where you kind of make one up. In the books, there are preset ones that are essentially stamped out by major manufacturers, such as Triax. The Coalition only really has... I think they eventually get a couple, but they're not really... Triax is the main one. And in fact, Triax, which is the German company that makes everything over in the new German Republic, they put out the red type. They also put out this one. Now, this one has a bunch of built-in weapons. Built-in weapons are good because they can never be taken off you. But as you can see, this one's a lot leaner. Now, like I said, it is up to you how you build around the concept of a Borg, or a full conversion Borg, cyborg they call it. It's up to you, but there is a lot of play here. You can go from the red type, big, huge, strong, to this type, a little sleeker, a little meaner, probably a little faster. And your selection of, how do I put it? Your selection of weapons can get very interesting, I'll put it that way. And here's a movie from the RoboCop 2. Awesome movie, by the way, really old, but it's really kind of cool. See, they got a whole plethora of weapons built into it. That's kind of one of the advantages of being a full conversion Borg, is you have weapons that they can't take away. They can also act independently. You can have a shoulder cannon, a laser finger, the Gatling gun this guy's got in his arm. You can have any number of things. But, how do I phrase it? That's the thing. You are now fully converted. You cannot go back. There is no going back in this. Unless you can genetically regrow a body and then they put your brain in it. And there's very few societies that have that level of technology or are willing to give you access to it. Now, the full conversion Borg, if you go down the thing, the MDC, arms, hands, blah, 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 and max attributes, max physical prowess. Now, the number of weapons you can put in each one is kind of interesting because some of them are different. And there's a whole book called the Bionic Source Book that I recommend if you really want to be a Borg. You buy the basic book and you buy this one, and I would buy Triax. But Knuckles, each one gets one thing. Now, as a GM, you kind of have to balance that. No, you cannot put a railgun in each, you can't have a railgun in the Knuckles. It wouldn't make sense. But feature, yeah. Sensor, claw. There are things you can get in that Bionic Source Book, like sensor hand, medical sensor hand. There's also an interesting, you can go down this and there's all these Borgs in light body armor and armor penalties and number of additional optional weapons. There's a lot of stuff here. Penalties, you don't have any sense of touch whatsoever. That's what I'm going to inform you of right now. You have zero sense of touch. I mean, you literally, your hand is made of metal. You're resistant to psionics. You're kind of resistant to magic because you're from Borg. I like the guy at the bottom because it looks like he's got like some sort of automatic shotgun on his arm, and he's got a claymore that's a chainsaw. He's got a chain sword claymore. Now, if those are silver plated and he's going after vampires, that's awesome. All right, now you have your basic level of skills on it, and in this, there's a starting level of money you get to start upgrade fund, i.e. you either saved up your money and you bought this, and this is how much you got, and then it goes over all of these kind of modification. And this is a light going over, by the way. I hate to inform you of that, but this is really kind of like the glossing over of it. There's a lot more in the Bionic Source Book. And there you go. There's one of the different kinds of full conversion Borgs. This one's a combat one. That is a more adventuring one. That is a mining Borg, which, by the way, in a group, this guy can fill multiple roles if you're a mining Borg. Yeah, you kind of fill the heavy role because he can carry a railgun around. He can carry a very large plasma cannon. He can carry a mini missile launcher. But he can also be helping dig things, helping fortify, that kind of thing. All right, so then here's a whole bunch of other list of stuff that I'm just not going to go over. So let's go back to this. What I want you to get is the concept with a full conversion Borg is that you have given up a lot of your humanity for strength and power. Now, how you choose to spend that money on your thing, you can put wings on it and make it like looking like an archangel. And one really cool one you can do is you can have an artificial skin growing around you that's I think a living, breathing, or it looks kind of plasticky, but basically you can be what I call a hidden Borg, which really works out as I can believe this, bodyguard. If you're a hidden Borg, you're going to kind of give away when you walk because it's going to be thud, 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 thud as you walk down the hallway. However, at a glance, walking out in open terrain, you look like a person holding a rifle. You don't look like a full conversion Borg. This guy gives it dead away. If he's standing in the middle of the field, you're going to be the bullet magnet. If you make a lighter Borg, like a hidden one, sorry. But if you make a hidden one, you can be hidden as an alien. You can look like whatever weird alien you want to look. There's a whole section there on fake skin, fake arms, fake hair, fake this, fake that, da. If you use that, hell, you can even actually have a disguise kit built into your face, so your face kind of remolds when you want it to. You can save a couple images, and I want to look like him today. Yeah, so that would be funny. But that's be funny when the thing you take too much damage and it breaks. Ooh, come on, now give me a horror factor. But think about this: the way the full converted Borg is, this is definitely the heavy character. Unless you go with like a hidden one. Even then, they're kind of still going to be the heavy because they're a walking armor sheet. The full conversion Borg has given up everything to be more powerful. Now, whether that is the genesis behind that is I want to be a bigger person so I can save people, or I just want to be bigger and badder and hurt people, or I just want money. And those are different motivations for being this character. But yeah, and when you are a full conversion Borg, here, let me give you this little. You run differently. You walk. You would kind of literally move more mechanically, which is kind of what they went through here. This is another scene from not Robotech, but RoboCop 2014 edition. See what I mean? You would move differently. Your movements are much more mechanical. Now, there's a whole alien Borg kind of idea and concept, and there's a couple interesting ones of those. I think there's like I don't know if they're Borgs. Yeah, there's by the way, there's not only full conversion Borgs, like metal ones. There's actually ones in the Atlantis book that are Bioborgs. Essentially, you have a plethora of symbiotic elements living on you. I don't recommend it. It doesn't end well. But here's what it is. This is it right here. What you have is you've given up your humanity to have this. You can use this to protect people or harm people. The essence of the story is that you need to be smart. You need to, understand your character. All right? And I want to stress that infinitely. The concept you've got is you are a full converter. You have given all this up. You are now a Borg. You need to be repaired, so odds are you're part of an army or you're a freelancer. You will live 200 years like this. So go ahead, bang away, kill things. But you're the heavy. Even if you're the hidden Borg, you're the heavy because you surprise people. Like Mafia bodyguards, whenever I have those, they are usually cyborgs. And they work out real well as aggressors. Think about this guy walking into a room going, the Dark Lord says death for you all. Well, at that point, if your guys aren't prepared, don't have their body armor, and don't have anything, there is no fighting this guy. There is get the blank out of the room. Ballroom blitz time. Run. And that's what you would have to do. These make great adversaries because they can soak up a lot of damage. And they make great player characters because sometimes there is a great way to play these guys. I mean, you could play it as a guy who sacrificed his humanity so he could save others. If that's your character's goal, then that's awesome. If you just did it for money, then okay, cool. That's your motivation. All right, so that being said, I believe my next episode will be on crazies, which will be much more interesting and much more crazy because I got to explain a lot of things about them because, yeah, you could basically a person who goes crazy. All right, so that's coming up next. Please check out my new Patreon account. Check, if you want to support the channel. Please check me out on Rumble, Minds, that kind of thing. Those are more free speech centered sites, and I recommend everybody move to them as YouTube's being a bitch. All right, so that being said, please like, share, subscribe. Join me on those other free speech platforms. Enjoy your day. Have fun with RPG. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have just something you want me to answer, some question in your head, or ask me about an issue, and I'll tell you how I see it. Again, I thank you very much for your time. And as always, I have worked with Fergal, and I do know Chad the man.